Just hours before my daughter's wedding, I got a message from an unknown number. Don't go. Check your wife's garage. I almost laughed it off. Probably just some bored person trying to stir trouble. I tucked my phone away, but the words clung to me. They itched at my thoughts like something I couldn't ignore. Maybe it was curiosity, or a quiet instinct I'd learned never to trust too late, but I walked slowly to the garage, feeling ridiculous. The door creaked open, the light flickered on, and there it was, a suitcase. Draped over it, a man's jacket. Beside it, a pair of polished dress shoes. In the jacket pocket, a tie. Burgundy and gold. The exact colors of my daughter's wedding theme. I recognized those shoes. They belonged to a coworker my wife mentioned far too often. Just a friend, she always said. I didn't need to open the suitcase. I just stood there, feeling a deep emptiness inside my chest. Then, silently, I closed the door, like shutting a chapter of my life. Strangely, I didn't break down. I didn't scream or confront anyone. Instead, I got ready. I showered, dressed in the suit I prepared weeks ago, tied my tie the way my father taught me as a boy, and headed to the wedding. I wasn't going to let her betrayal steal this day from me. It was my daughter's wedding, and I deserved to be there. But the moment I arrived, I saw it all in their eyes. The polite whispers. The awkward smiles. Her side of the family looked at me like I didn't belong. My daughter barely looked at me. I walked her down the aisle because it was expected, but her arm was stiff, cold, like she was granting me a favor, not sharing a moment. That hurt more than anything else. This was the same child who once held onto my finger so tightly as a little girl. Now, she couldn't even hold my arm without discomfort. I posed for the photos. Ate what was served. Smiled when I was supposed to. But inside, I was already gone. Everyone seemed to know. Everyone except me. My body sat in the ceremony, but my thoughts were still in that garage, staring at that suitcase, asking myself, how long has this been going on? I wasn't always this silent. I built everything they had. Started in a factory, came home covered in grease. My wife hated the smell, so I'd change clothes in the garage. Fitting, really, that's where everything started, and that's where it all ended. Over the years, I grew a small business. Worked long days and even longer nights. Missed birthdays, dinners, milestones. But every paycheck went to them, school fees, savings, bills. When my daughter wanted piano lessons, I sold my tools to pay for them. She never got good at it, but she smiled when she played, and that was enough. When my wife wanted to travel, I worked overtime. They flew to Europe, Thailand, places where the photos looked happier without me in them. I thought giving was how love worked. That love was quiet, practical, invisible. But invisible love is the easiest kind to forget. With time, my wife grew distant. Short conversations. Her phone always turned away. Laughter I never heard until I walked into the room, and then silence. Always silence. My daughter picked up the same habits. She started treating me like I was part of the furniture. She asked for things, but never shared anything real. I kept telling myself it was just a phase. That kids grow distant. That marriages change. But deep down, my gut knew the truth. Still, I stayed. I paid for everything, her education, her car, her apartment. I was just background noise in my own home. When the wedding came, I funded it all. The venue. The catering. The dress. My wife handled everything else. She just told me how much, and I paid. The only time my daughter called me directly was to ask for more money. Not my blessing. Not even a thank you. Just the money. The groom. Met him twice. He shook my hand like I was a stranger. And I still said nothing. I told myself this was love. This was sacrifice. This was patience. Until that message. Until that suitcase. Even then, I stayed silent. I didn't confront her. Didn't confront him. I'm not the type to cause a scene. I left the wedding early. Told them I was tired. No one tried to stop me. That night, I sat alone in the dark. No lights. Just silence. I didn't feel rage. Just closure. The next morning, I called my lawyer. I calmly moved the house to my name, froze our joint accounts, and canceled every card. She got the notification first. Came home furious, ready to fight. But her bags were already packed, waiting for her in the garage. Right next to the suitcase. Still untouched. She looked at it. Looked at me. I said nothing. I didn't have to. 2 days later, I left. Sold the business. Retired early. They told me my daughter called once. I didn't answer. She never called again. Months passed. Last week, I received a letter. She's pregnant now. Said they're struggling. Asked me for help. I read it twice, folded it neatly, and put it back in the envelope. I didn't reply. Some debts are already paid. Some accounts are better left closed. One day, she might understand. Love isn't just what you give. It's what you don't let others take for granted. I was the foundation beneath their lives. And now, I'm the ground they no longer get to walk on. And that's okay. Some doors, once shut, should stay closed forever. If this story stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Let others know that quiet fathers feel everything, that sacrifice isn't weakness, and that sometimes the strongest thing a man can do is walk away without a word.